Tonight's special guest is Frank McManus from the Aetherius Society. They are presenting a seminar all about the 2012 prophecies. This Thursday, the 3rd of September 2009. What's it all about? Well, let's find out tonight with our special guest, Frank McManus. We welcome Frank McManus as our special guest on The Beat Goes On. Frank McManus.
Hello there.
How are you?
Oh, very well.
The Aetherius Society. Thank you for coming in today. You're our second visitor from the Aetherius Society. We had Ray Nielsen about 6 months ago.
Sure did.
And it's a wonderful society, isn't it?
It is.
It's wonderful ideas.
It's a very practical organisation.
Just a little bit about the Aetherius Society.
Well, it was founded in 1954 by a very unique man, and he was a master of yoga as well, Dr. George King. And he had direct contact with beings from beyond this earth. We called the Cosmic Masters. And over a period of all of his life. And those contacts were researched, documented, probably documented more than any other teachers ever documented anything. And
wow.
Jesus was on earth. His contacts...
Nothing was documented,
no,
really. Yeah.
Buddha was on earth and undocumented. Dr. King's contacts are staggering. They are a spiritual tomb of amazing information which is just waiting for people to research. And they're provable through research.
How did you get into the Aetherius Society?
Well, I was a young man. I went through all the the hippie period in the 70s, and I was searching. I just didn't swallow the concept of what life was meant to be, as it was portrayed to me by my peers and
parents.
Parents and peers. Yes.
Were you brought up in a strict religious background, or you?
My father moved away from the Catholic Church because of what he witnessed during the Second World War. To be honest. So I was searching. I was searching in many areas, and I had some interesting experiences, and which led me to into the paths of mysticism, yoga, because I found the orthodox teachings just didn't answer certain things for me. I had a very inquiring mind. I wanted to experience things. Mainly, I wanted to have first-hand knowledge. I just didn't want to have faith, which led me into yoga, and through practice of different forms of yoga and meditation, I had other experiences. Paranormal, you could say, which led me further in this search. And it finally eventuated me finding the Aetherius Society, because I was looking for an organisation which had brought UFOs into equation, because I believe that the universe must be inhabited, that UFOs must be connected. They can't be divorced from spirituality, or some sort of evil force. And I also believe there was a purpose for life, and I wanted to find that purpose. And I also wanted to do something. That was my main drive. I said, well, I just don't want to live my life like ordinary people, just to get a house and save for my retirement. I want to leave some footprints in the sand. And I wanted to have grand aspirations of going off and joining some World Vision Corps and do some work and do something. But I wanted to do something, and the Aetherius Society helped me fulfill it.
Now you're here today because coming up in town on the 3rd of September at 8 p.m. Thursday night for our viewers. A wonderful night run by the Aetherius Society. It's all about the 2012 prophecies, the cosmic connection. Now that's I think it's the Mayan, is it the Mayan?
The Mayan
civilization, which existed in South America, how many thousands of years ago?
Central Yucatan, around the Yucatan Peninsula.
And they had a calendar, didn't they? A calendar that they saw the 26,000 year cycle. Now that's pretty good for supposedly a primitive race, isn't it?
Supposedly.
To know about a 26,000 year cycle.
Well, yes,
how could that happen?
Well, I believe ancient peoples had contacts with what we call the gods from space. The Egyptians, I believe, the Indians. They even talk about flying craft, the McManus. The Maori people even speak of it in their ancient cultures.
Because how could you work out? Nobody would be, 26,000 years is a long time, and they knew that there was a cycle of 26,000 years. Somebody had to tell them.
Well, that's right. Even their building skills. I mean, some of their mathematics and their amazing mathematics, which were demonstrated in their pyramid structures and their cities. There's a tie between them. The Egyptian knowledge that the Egyptians had, the ancient Celtic people of England in places like Stonehenge and Avebury, and the amazing structures in Central and South America. There's a geometrical connection between them all, and there's amazing things happening in those days.
Now, Frank, on this evening,
Yeah.
on the 3rd of September at the Copthorne, what's the evening about? We know it's called the 2012 Prophecy, but what's the Aetherius Society trying to get across?
What we want to get across is the cosmic message, which has come through Dr. George King, the founder of the Aetherius Society. He was a great master of yoga, a great trance medium, amazing person. I had the great privilege of meeting. So what we want to portray is not so much we want to talk about the Mayan prophecies and people's thoughts of them, because there's an awful lot of attention about prophecies and this time period. What does it hold for man? We want to try and bring a spiritual context to these prophecies, more of a cosmic concept. We're going to talk about the earth as a being, a living being, the time period ahead of us, and the contacts of Dr. George King, and also the aspect of UFOs and how they tie into the whole aspect of religion and the future. And as we know, there are more UFO sightings today than in history.
Yeah, before, yes, yeah.
Also, what mankind is being asked to do, you could say, in a spiritual way, to prepare for the great changes. We believe there's a need for religions to combine all over the world and people to become more active. We believe these are the days of direct action, in whatever form. And spiritual action is the most important thing.
You must be really pleased at the opening up of acceptance of all these ideas. 30 years ago it would have been difficult to talk about this on television, but today it's really nearly a lot of these ideas are coming into the mainstream, aren't they? That must be gratifying to you.
They are. I think it's prophesied. It will happen. It can't be stopped.
Is it better education? Is it the internet? Is it magazines? Is it television? There's so many programs now. You can go to YouTube and see programs about the pyramids.
Yes.
And, we've got so much information now, haven't we?
I think it's a combination of many things. We live in the age of communication, and of course that can be used in a wrong sense. Communication can be just used to entertain you, as Robbie Williams say, let me entertain you. Even he's interested in UFOs these days.
The spiritual laws of the universe, are they simple? Is there a lot of them, or is it just pretty, you could put it on one A4?
Absolutely. They're simple in their essence, but maybe complicated in their unfoldment and their action. Yeah, we know that matter in our body, science has proved this, physicists, that is mainly space.
So if you look at the stars, the distance between our Earth, our Sun, and the stars is enormous, isn't it?
Yes.
And you take that right down to the atom level, so the distance between the electrons whirling around and the centre of an atom, it's huge, isn't it?
It is.
So it's just nothing but space.
It's mainly space. The ancients called it Maya. In other words, they believed matter was illusion. We perceive matter as solid, but it isn't really. And we believe there's myriads of energy inside the spaces of what we call matter. Matter is just energy. In fact, everything on Earth is solidified sunlight. And we also believe that the planets and the universe out there is teeming with life, not only on the physical plane, but on higher dimensions which interpenetrate that physical creation as we see it. So the whole universe is not inanimate, it is highly animate, and there is an evolutionary purpose for the whole of the universe. I mean, if you think about that, that's staggering.
So the Mayans say that in 2012, on the 21st of December, there's a change, a perception. We're into the new era.
We believe that the biggest change is going to be a spiritual one, and it's happening in the hearts and minds of people all over the world. It's gaining direction and impetus. It can't be stopped.
And that's what's happening on Thursday, the 3rd of September.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Frank, great talk. Great talk. It's a wonderful subject, isn't it?
It is.
And the next time you have a seminar, we want to hear from you, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.